should be live on YouTube. Can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? I apologize for a little bit of a late start. I've had a lot going on lately. I will update you folks with everything at the beginning of this stream before we get to this very, very interesting topic. I've kind of discussed this before. It's been a while, but I have a lot more to add to it, and I'll probably even do another stream from the studio or a pre-recorded video from the studio at some point, or even, get a panel to discuss this with men and women, because this is a really, really important topic. I really want everyone to understand and not misunderstand. I get a feeling that a lot of very angry and bitter men are going to misunderstand this. Hey, Queen, what's going on? The Queen is here. Can you hear me clearly, Queen, and see me clearly? Let me know. Are we rolling okay? I was going to go to a different location today, but I didn't get a chance. I'll probably do that tomorrow. So I'm back at Red Morton Park for this stream. You're good? Thanks, Queen. Appreciate that. How's your day going, Queen? How's your night going? You're 3 hours ahead of me on the East Coast. Have you had a good day battling the government on Twitter and YouTube? But man, Queen, oh God. You know what, Queen? If I ever became a politician, which I never would, Queen, I would run and hide from you. With no disrespect, Queen. I would run and hide. You can LOL me or give me some strange emoji if you'd like. I had an email about the takedown. Wait, Queen, you have another video removed? What happened? Yeah, I've been seeing lots of people getting videos removed from YouTube lately. And I keep saying this, I keep trying to tell people it's because of the controversial content. And it's not even the fact that the content is controversial, it's the fact that a lot of times when people get removed for talking about controversial topics, it's because they add a lot of hate speech to it. And that's something that YouTube is anti. And to be quite frank, me as a human being, I hate speech myself. Like, why can't we all just be good people, right? We all have our opinions, right? We have our opinions, our concerns, right? But instead of projecting, let's just have a reasonable civil conversation about it. You know what I mean? I had to remove it and I am angry. Well, what happened, Queen? What was it removed for? Hate speech? Sensitive issues? I have to say again, Queen, for the amount of controversial content you put out there, most of it sticks. But I understand even when one goes down, I get how it feels. Somebody got butthurt and reported me. Either that, Queen, or the wonderful, beautiful, glorious, amazing YouTube artificial intelligence, the AI, may have gotten you too. Because these AIs, they can transcribe our voices pretty much in real time, or at least by the point the video processes, right? And then sometimes when the AI, the artificial intelligence, catches something, it'll immediately report it, or it'll immediately flag a human reviewer, and they'll look at it and make a decision. I don't think the AI automatically just takes things down. I think what it does is it flags a human reviewer to immediately review it with priority. So, anyway. It was definitely a person who was butthurt. I get that, Queen. We have a lot of people that cannot tolerate criticism. And I myself, Queen, and everyone else, when I first came out on YouTube, I was scrutinized for not being able to tolerate. I was scrutinized for not being able to tolerate criticism, right? That wasn't the case. I was being attacked with like hate speech and inappropriate stuff, right? If you want to criticize me legitimately, I'll take that all day, every day. If you're going to project your insecurities onto me because you perceive me to be better than you, right? Then I'm not going to put up with that. But what I will say this, Queen, I'm going to do another show on this at some point. I was thinking about this. I have a lot of topics to go over. I've been cranking out content left and right. I'll share more about that video that'll be released very soon, the 4K video I've been talking about. But I've been cranking out content like it's like it's out of style, right? So, but yeah, no, I'm going to do a video at some point, whether it's pre-recorded or live on mobile or in the studio, regarding how YouTube has made me an incredibly strong person. I'm not saying I wasn't strong before I came on YouTube, but dealing with the stuff you deal on YouTube is unlike anything else you will ever deal with in your life. And if you can tolerate that, work through it, and stick on this platform, go ahead. If you can tolerate it and stick with this platform, it just shows how strong of a person you are. Sometimes it feels like it's you against 100 people or you against the world. And that's happened to me. It's still happening to me right now, Queen. But I've learned to ignore it. I've learned to move past it, right? YouTube tests your strength. So I'm going to do a video on that and maybe even do a panel show on that. There's just a lot going on, and a lot of people are reaching out to me lately and they want to collaborate. At the same time, I've got some ladies I'm talking to regarding my love life. I'm trying to get that in order. I've been a busy dude. And it's all good, though. It's all good. Now, let me update everybody, first and foremost, on that 4K at 60 frames per second video that I shot a couple days ago. Regarding digital versus reality. It actually did finish processing earlier today. It's all set and ready to go. But the reason why I haven't released it yet is because I had this stream to do, and I may even do a secondary stream tonight from the studio, late night. And I don't want to have too much content around it confusing it. So I'm going to release that video tomorrow. I'm going to schedule it for 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. So the Walking with Purpose in 4K at 60 frames per second with the topic digital versus reality. How this has affected us in the modern world, yada, 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 will be released first thing in the morning. And you're going to want to check it out. It's a 54-minute video and very high quality audio and video. The highest quality audio and video you can get for a video. And, if you're one that doesn't like my content or doesn't believe in what I say, you can at least enjoy the scenery in crystal clear 4K 60. So that's the update to that. Besides that, I'm trying to work on some interviews, set up some interviews and collabs with Real Talk with Lauren. We're still trying to find the time to talk. We've been communicating through Facebook Messenger. Excuse me. And we've just both been incredibly busy. She's got a lot going on. She's got a pretty big network like myself. Because, she's been very active with the media from a young age. Plus, she's got a huge Facebook following like I do. And, all that. So, it's we're trying to make it happen, and we will make it happen. But we're just trying to figure out when we're going to talk. Probably later tonight or tomorrow. And then that interview with Lauren will probably happen live on my channel next week. And Lauren, if you're watching this, we'll end up doing it live. I'll tell you why, because my channel is so secure from trolls and haters and attacks. With Nightbot, the YouTube block words list, plus people have to be subscribed to me for 20 minutes before they can even chat. I have 15 seconds slow mode in the chat. And plus I have the DVR feature always turned off on live streams so people can't rewind in case something happens and we need to remove the stream, then people won't be able to get that thing that happened live. Only way they'll be able to get it is if they are screen recording. And look, if somebody wants to sit around and screen record every single one of my live streams all day, every day, and make your life about screen recording me just to make sure you don't miss anything, then God bless you. More power to you. Lots of people out at the park again today. It's a pretty nice day. I feel pretty good. Feeling so much better than I have in a long time. Ever since I pinched a nerve a little over a year and a half ago, and this COVID thing started coming out, and it's just been a very, very interesting last year and a half to 2 years. Not just for me, but for a lot of people. Maybe we should do a show on that, Queen. The last 2 years. How have you managed it, right? And tonight from the studio, I think I was saying this a second ago, tonight from the studio, if I do that stream, it's going to be a stream on, loneliness. I've kind of done a stream on that already, but I have a lot more to add to it. I'm just noticed more and more very lonely men and women. And I'm not just talking about the beta males and stuff like that. I'm talking about, good, decent, strong people like myself and good, decent, strong, down-to-earth women, right? I'm talking about very dateable men and women that are lonely. And, they're not happy that they can't find true love. They keep putting themselves out there. And, they just can't find the right guy. And a lot of times, us guys, we like to blame the women for being real picky. And there is a lot of truth to that. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. Men are picky too. I don't even think it's being picky. I think it's about compatibility and chemistry. And if something feels right or not. And because of this digital world we all live in, no matter how attractive your pictures are and how great your conversation is on the phone, and even if you show up the same, looking the same in person and have the same personality in person, it's all about the vibe you feel about each other in person. So the moment you lay eyes on each other, do you feel like, wow, I just want to make out with her? And while it's more than just making out with her, if you both don't feel like you want to make out with each other, no matter how good everything else is, it's just not going to go anywhere. That's the thing. A friend of mine asked me, how come I don't date? I told him it's my choice. I sent a screenshot to YouTube team on Twitter to let them know what I got. Okay, cool, Queen. Best of luck to you on that. Well, Queen, it is your choice. And I respect your choice, Queen. And, I understand why you've made that choice. And, I'm a person that's not going to try to change anybody or anything. But what I do know, Queen, is life was meant to be shared with somebody, right? Man and woman were meant to be together and create a great team. But because of the way things are in the modern world, it's become extremely difficult to have a relationship with someone that's going to stick around and you can trust, I understand why people like you withdraw. And, Queen, as long as, like I've said in the past, as long as you're happy within yourself and you're content and you don't feel the loneliness at night being by yourself, then that's fine, right? But the truth of the matter is, everybody, when they're single, especially when you get older in your 30s and 40s, and you're sitting in your place alone by yourself, everybody gets lonely naturally. I don't care what anyone says. It's a normal feeling. And it's not a feeling that makes you any less masculine if you feel it. It's a normal feeling for both men and women to feel. I gotta wait for that dog and family to move by. It's like what kind of a dog is that? It's like a big poodle or something? Anyway, I'm sure Queen will tell me what kind of dog that was. So, anyway, well, I hear a dog somewhere. I don't know where it's at. But it's probably barking at me. Huh. Well, as long as it doesn't come and bite my balls off, I'm good. That's all right. All right. Let's get right to it. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from Red Morton Park. This is episode number 126. And today, we're going to be discussing, should you date women or give women a chance to date them if you've been friends with them for a while, right? And my response is going to be shocking. One more time. Should you, as a man, give a woman the chance to date you or attempt to date a woman that you've been friends with for a while? It's a shocking answer, and it's coming here in a second. We're going to talk about it, right? Now, I want to make it very clear. Lots of people at the park today. I want to make it very clear that this is different than being friend zoned. Because many people, especially the immature, insecure, weak, pathetic beta males, or very angry, bitter, immature, and insecure grown men that have gone through things with women that didn't make them happy, and now they're jaded, right? They're gonna say this is different, they're gonna say this is wrong, Eli. It's wrong information. You never be friends with a woman. That's not true. There's a difference between being friends with a woman legitimately and being friend zoned by a woman when you're trying to date her, right? Or when you first meet her, right? Let me give you an example here. Okay. When you're working in the workforce, when I used to work in the corporate world, I met a lot of great women, a lot of great people, right? I was just a friendly, social guy, right? And people either like you or they don't like you. Some people like you, some people don't, right? And the workforce, along with any other social environment, like being at church, or if you're a part of a group, like a meetup.com group, like a hobby type of group, you're going to be hanging around in person with people that are like-minded. And you're socializing with them and you're hanging out with them, enjoying something similar. But at the same time, what's happening? You're getting to know them, right? You're getting to know both men and women, right? And sometimes, as you get to know people, if you're a man and you're a single man, and there's a single lady in your group, and you've been hanging around for a while in the group and you enjoy talking with each other, right? You're automatically friends, whether you like it or not. Like, you're just cool with each other, right? Going out and being a part of these groups, you know, the purpose is to connect with people and make friends, right? Life, honestly, is all about making friends. You know, getting to know people, building acquaintances, and then a lot of those people turn into friends, right? And then after that, things may come out of it. Things more than you would expect come out of it, right? So when you're in a group situation, right, and you befriend people, including women, if you're a single guy and you're a part of a group and you're befriending men and women, and some of those women you befriend in that group, are single women too, there's nothing wrong with befriending them, right? You're not at that group to hit on women and pick up women. It's not a singles group or a singles club, right? It's a group where you have a similar interest, right? You enjoy a similar activity, right? That group, is about, right? So nothing wrong with being friends with a woman. A lot of people misunderstand the difference between truly being friends with a woman and being friend zoned by a woman, right? Let me tell you what being friend zoned by a woman is, right? If you're meeting a woman on a dating app, or if you're at a singles club, or if you're at an event for singles, right? You're looking for chemistry, both the man and the woman. And in that case, if a woman says, let's start off as friends, right, and see where it goes, that's where you're getting friend zoned. And it'll never happen, because if she was attracted to you, she would be instantly attracted to you, and she would say, let's hang out and have some fun. You seem cool, let's hang out. Instead of, let's start off as friends and get to know each other and see where things go. In that case, I always tell men, in that situation, you let the woman know, honestly, I understand and respect where you're coming from, but to be honest with you, I'm not interested in being just friends. I'm only looking for something romantic, which is why I'm here. You seem like a really, really nice lady, and I'm gonna pass on that. But hey, here's my number. Give me a call sometime if you change your mind, and if not, no worries. Best of luck to you. Take care, right? In that case, you're conveying to the woman as a man that you're not perturbed by her trying to friend zone you. And a lot of times, when women try to friend zone you, it's a shit test. They're looking to see if it's going to upset you. Women will test you on that because they want to be with a man they can trust to be around, right? They want to be with a man they can feel comfortable around. They want to be with a man that's not going to be abusive, right? Mentally, emotionally, or even physically, right? So they're testing you. Now, in some cases, they legitimately want to friend zone you, but most of the time, when a woman says, let's just be friends, it's a shit test, right? And when you respond to it differently than most other men do, especially the betas, that will conform to friendship and stay on indefinite backup status while she goes and hangs out and does what with other guys, well, you know what I'm saying, right? Now, here's another thing, okay? I'm going to share a couple stories. One with a woman that I had a chance to be with in the past that was a good friend first. And, over the recent past, I've had another situation. I'm not going to go into too much detail because, obviously, you know why I don't give too much detail where these people can be identified, because you know what happens then, right? That's on them, says Queen. Right. So here's the thing. What is the great thing about being a part of an in-person group. Oh, and by the way, the other person that wanted to collaborate was SIFUSMO, also known as Dion. We connected on Facebook last night. Actually, I need to accept your friend request, Dion. And he wants to do a stream with me or a show with me regarding the cold approach, right? The cold approach, or let's just be more broad-based than that, Dion, and say meeting women in person through in-person socializing compared to online dating or dating apps in the modern digital world, right? Okay? So yeah, we're going to do that. Let me wait for this person to pass on by. Got a lot of people at the park today. It's nice to see people out and walking and getting in their exercise. It's all good. It's all good. Beautiful woman just passing on by. Gotta enjoy the view while you're here, right? So what is the great thing about making friends with women in person through these groups, right? You never know what's going to come out of it in the future, because again, you're not a part of these groups to go and hit on women. Some guys will join the most odd groups. I saw this in the past, in my younger days. I joined a group, for example, right, or some groups, right? And even when I was networking in the business world, like a lot of these guys were trying to hit on these women, right? You don't become a part of these groups to hit on women, okay? And in the professional world, you don't hit on women. I'll share more about that in a second. I honestly don't think you should mix business with pleasure. But making friends with people in the professional world, even single women, or even if they're not single at the time, making friends with them, you never know what's going to happen down the road, right? Once you're no longer working together, right? So what is the great thing? What is the biggest advantage a man has when he makes friends with women in a social group environment that has nothing to do with dating, right? These women get to know who you are. And what are the two most important things to a woman above anything else, right? Of course, they need to be physically attracted to you and all that stuff. But there are a couple things that are the most important things to a woman before they will give any man a chance. It is their safety and their comfort, right? They need to feel safe and comfortable around you. You can be the hottest guy in the world, have the most money, have the biggest Johnson below your belt. Let's just call it Johnson. I hope the YouTube AI doesn't know what a Johnson is, right? And if this goes to manual review to a dude or even a chick who may be reviewing this, you young bucks, do you even know what a Johnson is? Right? You can have the biggest Johnson on the planet, have all the money in the world, have everything going for you, and if a woman doesn't feel comfortable and safe around you, you're out, right? So when you're just a cool, relaxed guy just going to these groups for whatever their purpose is, right? Maybe you're part of a softball team or you're part of a technology group or something like that, right? You're going there for that, but you're also networking at the same time. You always have to look at every event you attend as a networking opportunity, right? Get to know people, right? So at those events, you're talking with men and women, and maybe you exchange numbers, maybe you connect on social media, LinkedIn. A lot of these professional groups like to connect on LinkedIn, that's fine, or we can connect on Twitter, we can connect on Facebook. I like Facebook as well for my real in-person network, right? And what do? You keep in touch, right? And then what happens, right? What happens, because all groups come to an end at some point, right? Things come to an end, right? What happens when you're no longer a part of these groups, right? I'm waiting for that little kid to move away from there. All right. Everybody's waiting to see what this young, under 10-year-old kid is doing, looking like he's going to cross the street, and every car is waiting for him. Dude, that's not a good spot to stand at. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go across this way and avoid the COPPA. No COPPAs allowed here. I respect kids and everything, but you know, I'm an ad-friendly channel, and I comply with all the rules. There we go. We're on the other side now. It's all good. So yeah, what happens when you're no longer a part of these groups? Let's say the group dissolves, or you don't have time for it anymore and you move on to something else. If you've connected with those people through email, social media, or maybe you exchange numbers and stuff like that, you now are connected with them, right? And it's really weird, but interesting what happens. It's actually a good thing, right? Sometimes, you know, if you keep a social media presence going, you're connected with these people, they'll watch you, right? Especially if you were part of a group, right? And you're a single guy and you were talking with some single women, right? But you weren't pushy, you weren't forcing them into a relationship, you were just being friendly with them, right? You weren't trying to get with them like a sick puppy dog, right? What happens? Sometimes they start to like you, right? But women don't tell you when they like you, right? They wait for you to make the move, right? But let's say you don't make a move because you can't tell if they like you or not. But down the road, they're following you on social media, and then they start to like your posts and comment on your postings, right? And participate with what you're doing, right? Women are not going to do that unless they like something about you. At least, you know, they like your message and they're getting value from it, right? Or whatever it is that you do online, right? Give me a second here. Just a lot of people. Busy time. I'll navigate the busy time and make things happen anyway, right? So again, what happens when these women pay attention to you, when they have so many other options, right? In many cases, I've got some kids coming here, and they're slowing down, looking at what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm live on the air. All right. Let's get out of the crowded zone so we can move forward. So what happens? They put themselves into your orbit, right? And then sometimes, if they continue to follow you on social media, you know, you start to chat a little bit more, and maybe you talk privately, say, hey, how you been? Oh, good, how you been? Good, you know. I miss seeing you at those events, she might say, right? Or she might say, I always thought you were a really, really good guy, right? Or some women will say, nice guy, right? Whenever a woman says, Eli, you're a really, really nice guy, right? You know, I'll politely come back and say, I don't know if I consider myself a nice guy, but I would consider myself a good guy, right? But I appreciate what you said, right? And what you're conveying there to the woman is that, in essence, you are really a nice guy, but you're not one of those nice guys that finishes last, and you're not a nice beta male guy. You're a nice alpha male guy, right? But women don't get turned on, no matter what they say, by the phrase, nice guy. All right. Now that was interesting. So, I'm trying to turn where I normally turn. You got two people standing in the middle of the street and one by the corner we're about to turn, practically blocking the whole way to where I can't walk around them and keep them out of the video. People are not self-aware or aware of their surroundings. I've always been well aware of my surroundings. I can run a damn stream with this whole unit I have here, right? And I still have peripheral vision. I can see things half a mile away, right? It's called multitasking. Most people are horrible at it nowadays. Women typically come standard and they're born with great multitasking skills, but because women nowadays no longer want to be housewives, they want to be liberated and work, which is all good, right? Women are horrible multitaskers now too. It's funny. Women used to be the best multitaskers because when they ran the household while the husband was out kicking butt, bringing home the bacon, the woman had to multitask the kids, do the laundry, do the dishes, all that stuff, right? We're living in a lazy society now. Then we go out in public and, we think we own the road. We just stand in the middle of the street while we're talking to somebody on the other side by the sidewalk, right? Anyway. And they saw me coming and they didn't even try to move out of the way. That's the funny part, right? Like for me, if I'm doing something like that, standing in the middle of the street or somewhere that typically needs to have open access for a car to get through or people to walk by, right? I will see people coming or hear them coming, and I'll just move out of the way and say, oh, I'm sorry for getting in your way, right? But people nowadays, they're just, they just feel like they own the road, or they're so lazy, or they're so overly relaxed, like they're not even, checking out their surroundings, right? I'm always aware of my surroundings. That's another video I should do. Be aware of your surroundings. It's a great video to do, right? So, when you're, like I said, when you're a part of these groups, you're getting to know, like, and trust people. You're getting to know, like, and trust both men and women, right? And if down the road, somehow you reconnect with a single of the opposite sex, and you start talking and you realize that you're both single, is that something you should pursue? Is that okay to pursue? Absolutely. That's actually what you want. You know why? You've already built a ton of rapport with that woman, or if you're a woman, with that man, right? There's a feeling of familiarity, which is important to women and to me as a man, sure. There's a feeling of trust. There's a feeling of comfort and safety, right? And even as a guy, even though guys, for the most part, don't worry about safety as much as women do, we should. I actually am concerned for my safety. Now, I'm not a freak about it, but I don't want to go on a hike or a date with a woman that I know is just going to be emotionally whacked out the whole time. And even if she doesn't do anything to harm me, it's just annoying to be around somebody like that when you're in one of the most peaceful environments, like a hike, right? You want to go on a hike with a woman or a man that's cool, calm, and collective. You can have a great conversation. You can pull off to the side and make out every now and then. If you're like me and you bring a big backpack with liquid and snacks and food, you could pull off to the side somewhere and have some snacks and take some pictures. You want to be with someone that's cool, calm, and collective, right? Not somebody that's crazy, right? So yeah, nothing wrong in that case. Now, what you have to do is this. If you're going to date someone like that you've been friends with and you've known for a while, you've got to be very, very clear and say, hey, let's say it gets to the point of where you both want to hang out and go on a date, right? I would be very clear at that point and say, look, I like who you are. I really like I like having you as a friend. And I'm open to seeing where this goes. But if it doesn't work out in that way, I still would like to be your friend. I just respect who you are, right? And it may not sound sexy, right? But to be quite honest with you, give me a second. To be quite honest with you, it's actually not a bad thing. It doesn't make you less of a man. Because sometimes meeting a woman in that situation that you've been friends with for a while may have those romantic feelings for you, but really likes what you already have and doesn't want to lose contact with you or the friendship she has with you if it doesn't work out. There's nothing wrong with that for men and women. And there's a big misperception about how people see this, right? What matters is how you feel deep within. If you're a guy that's okay to give a woman a chance that you've been friends with for a while through a group like this, right? And she wants to give you a chance. If you're okay with that, and if you're also okay with going back to being just friends if it doesn't work, or being acquaintances, there's nothing wrong with that. If all you want is a relationship and don't want a friendship, and you pretend to be her friend just to have a chance to get the relationship, then that's where you're wrong. That's where you're going to fail, right? And women can tell. Women are very intuitive, right? They're very, very intuitive. They can pick up on the slightest variation if a man's being genuine or not about really wanting something or not, such as being okay with being just friends. Women can tell that. And sometimes women will test you, like I said earlier, by saying, why don't we just start off as friends and see where it goes, right? They'll test you. In that case, with a woman like this, you could say, well, I'd really like to see where this could go, right? I'm interested in seeing if there's something romantic possible here. Now, you may feel a little awkward about it. I know it's kind of strange, but I just enjoy your company. I really liked being a part of that group with you. Maybe we could start a group. Maybe we could bring back that group and you and I start it, right? There are so many things you can say to make her feel comfortable, make her feel even, more safe, right? And comfortable, like I said, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? Now, let me give you an example here because I'm going to be wrapping this up after lap 2, and then I'm probably going to take a couple more laps and listen to some other YouTube videos. Real Talk with Lauren, for those of you that have been following her, I did a stream on her the other night. If you want to search for the Real Talk with Lauren channel, she just put out another video regarding her panic attacks. And I'll be checking that out after I finish the stream here in about 10 or 15 minutes. But here's the thing. There have been a couple situations. I'm going to hone in on one. I've talked about it before, where I had a chance to be with a woman I was friends with. And I met this woman while working at the movie theater in my younger days. She was dating somebody else, and so was I. But her and I were always good friends. Her personality was more like mine, really outgoing and talkative and fun and bubbly and just a really cool person, right? And the guy that she was with and the woman I was with had a similar personality. Now, we were working together, and she was with another guy. So there's nothing you can do in that situation, right? But I always wondered what it would be like to be with her, right? Well, when my ex broke up with me, and she broke up with her ex, her and I started hanging out every now and then as friends. She would reach out to me. We just hang out, right? And I was really attracted to her. She was cute, and she had a great personality and all that. But I was younger back then, and it's like I really didn't want to risk our friendship to, have something more happen, and it doesn't work out, then, I wouldn't want to be in a position where we don't talk anymore, because I really respect this woman to this day, her family, and other people that we've known as well, right? I was also more concerned about what other people would think about us dating, right? I was younger. I was in my, early to mid 20s at that point. Well, like we met when she was a couple years older than me. We met when I was 16 and she was 18. And when I was 25 and she was 27, we started talking again. And I just really felt like I wanted to see what it would be like to be with her, right? Just to kiss her and make out and do all that. So I reached out to her and invited her out on a date. And we just met like in the early evening at a small park here in Redwood City. She lived about 20 minutes away. She drove out. That was awesome. And we got in my car and we were making out and lots of other things. And she wanted me the complete way, right? And I was really turned on making out with her and I really enjoyed it, right? But when it came time to have sex with her, I just couldn't do it. It wasn't because she wasn't attractive, she was. I mean, everything else happened besides that. My body shut down. I'm like, I really like this woman and she's been a great friend and I just really, don't want to risk that, right? And I was younger back then too, right? I was also worried about what other people would think, right? Lo and behold, I find out around that same time, the guy she used to be dating while we worked at the movie theater, he was also working at the movie theater too, started dating my ex, who was not working at the movie theater, right? When I found out about that, I was like, okay. Well, if I look back at it, at age 47 now, I realize why they got together, why my ex got together with her ex, because they had more of a similar personality. They were more compatible. And I was more compatible with this woman, right? But I couldn't pull the trigger, right? I didn't pull the trigger. And I will say this. Do I regret not pulling the trigger back then? At age 47 now, and knowing how good of a woman she still is to this day, yeah, I regret it. She went down a different path, got married to a guy that had a lot of mental and emotional issues that weren't apparent right away, had 2 kids with him, and now she's living a different life. If she would have gone down, if I would have gone down that road with her, it would have probably been different because we were very compatible. We both came from great families. We both wanted the same thing. We wanted a family. We believed in true love and happiness. We were bubbly, outgoing. We were cool together, right? I didn't pull the trigger. In that situation, I can't even talk. Should I have pulled the trigger, which is what I'm trying to say, back in those days? If I knew back then what I know now, absolutely. I have no doubt this woman would have still been with me and been faithful to me. How do I know that? We're still friends to this day. We still respect each other in the same way to this day, right? So when you get yourself in a situation like that, there's nothing wrong with taking that chance. If you're going to take that chance, though, right? If you're going to take that chance, make sure that you talk about, hey, if it doesn't work out, I still want us to be friends. This friend of mine, back from my high school days working at the movie theater, we met one time in a way where we were making out and we were doing romantic things, right? And we could have gone the whole way, but I just stopped it, right? After that time, I kind of didn't talk to her for a while because I felt a little weird, right? She still remained my friend. She still respected me. And I respect that. And the reason why she still respected me and I respected her is because we knew if we tried to take the next step and it didn't work, that, we're just two good people. And we could tolerate being opposite sex friends, right? There's nothing wrong with having friends of the opposite sex as long as that's what they are. But if you're keeping friends of the opposite sex because you're trying to get with them, then that's a problem. Especially like if you're married to somebody else or dating somebody else and you have opposite sex friends, okay? You got to be very clear that, hey, you're just friends with them, right? And you got to be clear with the current woman you're dating. Hey, I'm friends with this woman. There's no romantic interest. I want to be clear about that. I love you. I care about you. I'll say one more thing here before I wrap this up. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in. I'll be going off the air soon. And I'm probably going to do a secondary show late night tonight. Probably. Not guaranteed, but probably. Regarding loneliness and all that. So there's another woman that in the recent past that, has tried to connect with me in a similar way. And this is a woman that is a business contact from the past, right? And while I always have preached, don't mix business with pleasure, there's nothing wrong with making friends of the opposite sex in the business world. Because typically, all business relationships come to an end. It doesn't mean you stop being friends with people. It just means the business aspect of your relationship is no longer necessary, right? So if you make friends with people you meet in the business world, the corporate world, or if you're an entrepreneur, you attend networking events, or wherever you meet people in a business environment, you don't want to mix business with pleasure. You want to make good friends as well as business contacts, which is what I'm trying to say. And then years down the road, or maybe 10 years down the road, when you're no longer affiliated regarding business or the professional world in any way, shape, or form, if you reconnect, at that point, there's nothing wrong with you folks seeing where things can go. And remember, like I said earlier with the group thing, right? There's a sense of familiarity. You've gotten to know, like, and trust each other. You've built a comfort level and level of safety, right? Because women need to feel safe and comfortable, and they need to trust that you're a good guy, right? And if you've known somebody from the business world for 5 or 10 years, and you've been consistent, and they feel safe and comfortable with you, and maybe they had feelings for you back then, but they couldn't act upon it because of the same thing I said, right? But now that you're no longer a part of that business affiliation, right? Is that something you can go for? You should go for? Absolutely. That's amazing because you've already got that bond, right? But again, if you're going to go for it with somebody like that, as a man and a woman, for both sides, but I'm speaking from the male perspective, for me, I would make it very clear and say, look, I think you're a beautiful woman. I enjoy your company. I enjoy talking with you. I think we could have a lot of fun. In and out of the bedroom, not just the bedroom, in and out of the bedroom. We can go hiking. We can do all these wonderful things, right? I would love to take that chance with you, but it involves taking a chance, right? There's a chance it might not work out. I hope it does because I think you're awesome, right? Everything in life involves taking a chance, right? But in case it doesn't work out, because a lot of things don't work out nowadays, let's be real with each other. If it doesn't work out and we go for it, I'll still respect you the same way. We can still be friends. There's nothing wrong with being friends in that aspect, right? Nothing wrong with being friends with the opposite sex as long as both the man and the woman knows that you're both being friends to be friends and you're not pretending to be friends with the other person, thinking that's going to give you a chance to get into their heart, right? And other things, right? That's the difference. That's all. That's it. Anyway, say what I had to say. We are at 55 minutes. Folks, I'm going to wrap this up and probably come back for another video or another live stream late night tonight regarding loneliness and stuff like that. I've done a stream on that in the past, but I've got more to add to it. If I don't do that tonight, I'll do it at some point tomorrow. But definitely tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, that 4K, 60 frame per second, Walking with Purpose video, digital versus reality, will be released. Please check it out. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications. And with that being said, thank you to Queen, Helen, Casey, and everyone else for being here tonight. Have yourselves a good one. We'll see you all soon. Maybe later tonight. Take care. Bye. We're out.